Hello, everyone. I'm J. Lenora Bressler, and this is the April 25th, 2020 edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. In the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verses 28 and 29, we are told something interesting about the way that Jesus taught and how people responded to that. This comes at the end of a long statement of Jesus' teachings. It appears to be all from the Sermon on the Mount, but whether or not somewhere in here there was a break, I don't know. But whatever, it's coming at the very end of a lot of his teachings, and then this section of Matthew ends with these interesting words. And when Jesus finished these sayings, the crowds were astonished at his teaching, for he was teaching them as one who had authority and not as the scribes. Now, a couple interesting things here. It says that the people were amazed. Astonished or amazed. In the Greek, this is a lot more powerful a word than the way we think of amazed or astonished. This is like bowled over. This is like unbelievable. This is almost has a not necessarily a wonderful connotation. It's not really astonished in the sense of, oh, isn't this wonderful necessarily. It could be, but it's just like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Now that could be, I can't believe what I'm hearing and I'm so happy, or not, but it has to do with it. What is being said is unexpected. Either what is being said or how it is being said, but something was making these people think this is very unusual. This is, I can't believe he said that. Okay? Either good or bad, but that would be the connotation here. They were walking around going, did you hear that? Can you believe he said that? Now, why? What was it specifically that was causing them to say, wow, this is really something inherently different going on here? It says, for he was teaching them as one who had authority and not as the scribes. Well, in that era, there were a lot of rabbis. Jesus was one of many rabbis, learned men who were going around and teaching. And as a matter of fact, many times rabbis would speak together. They would gather together in a synagogue and they would ask one another, how do you read it? Meaning a particular scripture. And so there would be a discussion between rabbis about how do you interpret this, etc. But one of the things that the rabbis would always do is they would refer to other rabbis and past rabbis who had been held in high esteem. And so you would always say, well, as Gamaliel says, or as somebody else says. Jesus, of course, never referred to any other rabbi because he didn't need to. As a professional speaker, I know that, when I was starting out particularly, and I did not have a lot of expertise on my own, I would refer in my trainings a fair amount to other books, other speakers, not stealing their work or anything like that, giving them a complete attribution, but saying that this is consistent with what so-and-so says, or perhaps you've heard this statement by this speaker, and this is kind of, would go along with that. You do that in order to explain what you're saying is credible. But as you become more and more established, and as you become more and more the expert, obviously you rely less and less on that. And you can just say, based on my experience, what I've been through, I can say this. Regardless of what anyone else is saying, you can speak to these things because of who you are, your expertise, and your experience. Well, Jesus is talking about eternal things. He's talking about the most serious kind of issues possible. And he feels no need to even discuss what anybody else thinks. He just tells it like it is. And so it shows you that Jesus, even in the way he taught, was proclaiming by the way he taught that he was more. He was more than just a man. He didn't have to rely on anybody, any other human being, with regard to what the truth was. I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Visit me on the next edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details, and remember, tomorrow at 9:30 right here, we'll do a live Sunday school lesson. You won't want to miss it. We're going to talk about the Lord's Prayer.